In their latest earnings call with Wall Street analysts, Apple delivered great news for Apple stock investors. In this video, I'm going to go over those developments and the significant growth in its Mac and iPad segments and the potential for the long run value the health segment can add to shareholders. So let's get started.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So Apple stated that in the Mac segment, revenue came in at $9 billion for the December quarter, and that was 16% higher year over year, driven by significant excitement around the world for their latest Mac lineup. And remember, the PC industry is flat year over year in the latest quarter that ended December. There was maybe low single-digit unit growth overall, but for Apple to be able to generate 16% growth in this segment means it gained market share. Now, also, Qualcomm said they gained market share in the PC segment, and AMD said they gained market share in the PC segment. So who's losing market share? Intel. Unfortunately, this is mostly coming at the expense of Intel, which is embroiled in troubles for its overall business, to be sure. iPad revenue came in at $8.1 billion, and that was up 15% from a year ago, driven by strong interest for their latest products. Apple also said that health innovation has long been a focus for us, and we're committed to continuing to advance this work because we know how much it matters for our users. We introduced new hearing health features on the AirPods Pro 2. If you didn't already know, the AirPods Pro 2 can act as hearing aids for those that need hearing aid. That's a big improvement in the technology of that product, which can now serve a significant customer base with a very important need. And so that's going to drive incremental demand for AirPods because now people can use them as hearing aids in addition to hearing them for listening to music and watching things on their iPads or iPhones. They also increased the new sleep apnea notifications for Apple Watch, which are helping users for this potentially serious condition that could affect up to 1 billion people worldwide. That's another innovation that Apple introduced with the Apple Watch. Now, I've been saying this for, I don't know, maybe 5 years now, how I've been bullish on Apple's health potential because of its wearables. People trust Apple's devices in terms of the privacy features they add more so than they trust, I would argue, any other company with their privacy. And so this gives Apple a leading position to be a big player in this category. And already you're seeing the initial stages with the AirPods Pro acting as hearing aids, the Apple Watch doing more than just this, right? It can check your heart rate, it can check for irregular heartbeats, etc. And so I feel like Apple can continue to develop this technology, which can help enhance people's health, especially as the technology improves and Apple learns how to add these incremental benefits. And I think wearables, for now, we have the AirPods and we have the watches. I feel that there's going to be more wearables that are going to be coming out, and Meta Platforms has the augmented reality glasses. I think we're going to start to see more and more of these wearables, and we're going to start to see them become even more important to people's lives as they get embedded with more and more technology. And the technology, especially with artificial intelligence, the technology improves and adds more value compared to the size and weight of the devices. That's the big thing, right? To be able to add so much technology in a small form factor, small-ish form factor, to make it worthwhile for people to not feel like, oh my God, this watch is so big and heavy, or uh, these glasses are so big and bulky, they're not worth it to wear all the time. So I'm bullish on this category for Apple for the long run. Speaking of virtual reality, the Apple Vision Pro Apple said that users are enjoying the incredible immersive entertainment experiences and powerful new features and enhancements to Mac Virtual Display. And I haven't seen very many use cases for this technology. The Apple Vision Pro at, north of $3,000 is not yet a broadly acceptable consumer electronic product. If Apple can continue developing the technology here, improving it, especially at the price point, it could become more viable. But as it is right now, it's not going to become widely acceptable. So they need major improvements here. And the potential is there, but they need major improvements to the Apple Vision Pro. As they launched it, it's not ready for the widespread public, but for a small group of individuals who are enthusiastic, early adopters. They are purchasing these, and Apple's learning how to improve this over these next few years. So, in more good news for Apple, the company said that their gross margin at 47% came in at the higher end of what they were forecasting, and it was up 70 basis points from the previous quarter, primarily driven by a favorable mix. And Apple talked about how people are choosing its more profitable products. When they're buying an iPhone, they're buying the higher end iPhone, and those are coming with higher profit margins for Apple, and that's why they noticed a big improvement here. Product gross margin was up by 300 basis points from the previous quarter, came in at 39%, driven by favorable mix and leverage. And of course, the services segment is way more profitable with gross profit margins at 75%. That was up 100 basis points from the previous quarter. So, this is one of the reasons why Apple stock has performed relatively well so far in 2025. The company's margins are doing very well. Apple is the envy of so many businesses with this kind of business model where they have products and then services attached to the products. Apple generates a whopping 39% profit on their products. Most businesses that employ this business model would be happy to just be break even on the product side of the business, because you can see the services side of the business generates 75% profit margin. So companies would be happy to just give you the product at whatever it costs them and then generate the profits from the services. Apple manages to generate almost 40% margin on the products and then 75% margin on the services side of the business. This is where Apple has excelled in recent years. Understandably and justifiably, a lot of investors say that Apple hasn't innovated by all that much in recent years, and that's true. Their product innovations have just been, incremental, little by little, but what they have been able to do is improve profitability of the business overall through those incremental improvements, and that's been great news for Apple stock investors. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.